Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Real quick, that looks like Batman. It's obviously not, but just from this, it looks like Batman. Aliens versus Avengers number 4, the conclusion. This series is really good. However, the artist is not fast. Does beautiful work. However, it is unfortunate because again, he is not very quick. So, took a while for this issue to wrap up. This is though like a double-sized issue. So, got Captain Marvel and Black Panther killing this alien. We got Wolverine here. I think these are the Warriors. So it's like Black Panther and then the Warriors. There's another alien coming here, and then the White Queen. So he is such an incredible artist. Esad Ribic is. He did. Here's one of the variant covers. The resolution isn't as good as the other one. That's why it doesn't take the entire thing. And then the other variant cover here. Um, Esad Ribic with Jonathan Hickman also did the Secret Wars, the second volume, the one that restarted the Marvel universe. So, all right, we got Minister Sinister here saying close, even closer now as the aliens are getting near him. It's time. Oh, it's time, he says. You can feel it too, can't you, my lovelies? He says. Oh, it almost looks like he is smiling. I was a man, then I became a mutant. So many special strands of mutant DNA in this body, and now the alien grabs him here. I am becoming something more. I am becoming. So, are we gonna pop off with the sinister alien? Yes, we are. Look at that. Oh my goodness, very cool here. So as you can see, this is all done in pencil. There are no inks, and so I find that to make things take longer for these artists that draw in pencil. So it is, I believe, faster because of the ink than it is to go ultra detail on a pencil. So look at the little alien. Scree, he says. And look at the other Sinisters here. This one, it worked. How glorious. And this one, kind of like, whatever. Of course it works. Was it all not meticulously planned and carried out in the most sinister fashion? Sorry, in a most. And this guy here, I wouldn't celebrate too quickly. We're only halfway through the race. This one looks sort of bored. Hour 1. Hour 4. So you can see the alien is definitely getting bigger. Hour 12. And then the next day. And who knows what tomorrow brings. So, whoa, this is a much bigger, like the little diamond in the middle here. So, yes, yes. Glorious. And we can see all the aliens here. That's it. Prepare her. And this one kind of looking on. And this center says, our queen must have a brilliant crown. Shine upon that carapace up nice. See yourself in. And so here comes the sinister alien. And this one here. The occasion calls for it. This is a coronation. He continues, and soon enough, we will need a larger throne, as we too have the same thing growing in us. So it looks like all the Sinisters impregnated themselves. Frankly, I can't wait much longer for it to happen. I mean, I like a Sinister as much as the next Sinister, but all this groveling makes me itch. And this one says, "Me too, brother, but be patient. Soon, this special singularity won't be so special at all." Yes, there will be many of us, and this one goes. And so you can see this Sinister kind of wiping something or whatever. And he says here, "Of course, there's no taking away from the fact that you were the first, is there? I mean, surely that's enough to settle things, no? After all, we're in this together." And suddenly, you see the kathunk as he hits him in the forehead with the. What do you call that? I'm sure it's got a name. But I think there's an aliens wiki as well. I'll probably post that as well in the link. So, these guys here, decisive, a bit harsh, but not out of line, I suppose. And so he says, "But you wouldn't dare paint us all with the same brush, would you?" And suddenly, the screams here as the aliens attack the Sinisters. And this Sinister now smiles. Oh my goodness. Sinister always scheming, even against himself. And so we get our credits. Jonathan Hickman, of course, is the writer. Jonathan Hickman is a very good writer. Probably the best writer Marvel has currently. Esad Ribic is doing the pencils. And he does have a color artist, so he always works with him. He gets him, and so that's why when Jonathan Hickman, when Esad Ribic draws something, it always looks because he works with the same colorist. So everything always has a look here. So, all right. And so it seemed as if the universe favored Wakanda. And you can see one of the people here putting something in there. "The sons and daughters of that secret Terran country became the first starfaring humans, the product of a space program that no one knew existed until it appeared, fully realized and ascendant." And so you can see that they are surrounding this tome, for lack of a better word. We got the Black Panther here and some of his people here. Surprise was always the Wakandan way. And so here you see this rocket taking off here. "No one expected them to settle in a fertile, unclaimed arm of a spiral galaxy that kissed the edge of a dying nebula. No one imagined that their temporal generation ships would spawn a sprawling galactic empire." Very nice. Very nice ship. Very nice design here. And yet it did. Very cool looking. This Esad Ribic, like I said, I like him. I truly like him. But I think this series would have been best if they would have waited for Ribic to have completed all 4 issues and then released it. I think it would have done better than this delay that they had. And so, because issue 3 came out like in February. So, all right. T'Chaka's reach boasted a manufacturing ring world that was the beating heart of a Wakandan expansion. Celestial farms spawned supernovas that produced all the necessary elements for imperial growth. Hydrogen, iron, palladium, vibranium, all superabundant and critical to Stargate construction and system expansion. They were corridors between worlds that eliminated the need for interstellar travel, providing the optimal conditions for Wakandan society to thrive across solar systems. And you can see this here. Oh, very cool. Stargates were the linchpin of Wakandan life, and they were the key to Wakandan's death. And look at this guy here. Oh, he got an alien in him. The Empire's interconnectedness meant that a single seed world would easily infect and spread the xenomorph plague across the entirety of Wakandan space. One world became two, became four, as everybody kind of looks. Four brought on the fall of the Empire. You can see the aliens coming through that Stargate. If its height at its height there were 57 worlds and countless outposts in the Wakandan space empire. But by the time Emperor T'Challa returned to his kingdom, only two worlds had not completely fallen to the infection. Oh, here he comes. And on both of those, a dying war raged against the alien spawn. The Emperor had made his return, and you can see him here taking on the aliens here, cutting his leg and slashing this one's head. The blades were drawn. Oh, we got some kind of little electrical thing here. Beautiful art. Just beautiful. The good fight engaged. And an unwinnable war began and ended. But not in a wave of Wayland parasites. Oh, nice ship here. Instead, the end of Wakanda was engineered. So are we going to have the engineers here, apparently? Oh, real quick, I wanted to see that the ship was there, so they have been busy in this universe cleansing it. Microscopic black holes that lasted for only a picosecond. And we see this here. Just long enough to erase an infected world from existence. Now, here's the thing. That's actually not possible because we engineer tiny little black holes here on Earth in the Hern. Is it the Hern? The Super Collider. The name escapes me right now, and they evaporate. There's not enough in there for them to survive. So we actually do get microscopic black holes that last a picosecond. We already have created those here on Earth. The problem is someone eventually is going to create something that's a little bit more, and there will be the danger. But this actually sounds cool, but it's already been done here on Earth, and we're still here. So at least I think we're still here. So, all right. The godlike race of engineers had done godlike things. And so here they are here. Erasing worlds, entire cultures from this universe in an attempt to erase their first sin, life from all reality. T'Challa learned their truth at the end of his sword. And you can see this one exploding here. He learned their lesson. And so, wow, very nice. For they had fought it well. Save what you can. So you can see he is about to behead this guy here. Burn the rest. Man, this thing is excellently drawn. And so finally, we now get to the Avengers about halfway through this book here. And we see here now. And so they're all looking up here. So we got Captain Marvel, Wolverine, Oh my goodness gracious. I forgot, but I'm sure we'll find out. The White Queen, and I forgot who this is, but I'm sure, like I said, they'll tell us here. And so here come the Black Panthers, and T'Challa says, sigh. More dark news from the darkest of times. And this is Tony Stark here. Ah, Anthony, may you finally find peace. And he closes his eyes here. And Captain Marvel says, and the Empire? And T'Challa says, fallen. The same fate as every other victim of this insanity. And so this guy here says, creator and creation, driven to destroy each other, trapped in a mad dance that extends beyond the universe, and as it has no clear winner, could extend to all that there is. And continue here. You got any idea how to deal with something like that? And T'Challa says, isn't it obvious? We have to, and suddenly this guy says, my lord, motion. We have multiple contacts, many contacts, as he points off panel. And we see the alien here coming through. And we see the sinister alien. That is cool. And T'Challa says, fire. And they do, and look at that. Boom, 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 boom. And T'Challa says, we're out in the open, and there's a sea of them. We should move to the ship, nuke the entire site from orbit. And Wolverine says, nah, these bones may be getting old, but my eyes are working just fine. And Wolverine continues, you see the big red one? And the White Queen says, I do. Hard not to notice the symbol on its head. Sinister? Asks Wolverine. And Emma Frost says, indeed it is. And honestly, I just wouldn't live with myself if I ran from that. Is her name the White Queen? Does she have an actual code name, or is she always just the White Queen? Because I always call her the White Queen because I have no idea if she is still using that name or if it's something else. I mean, I know her name is Emma Frost, just like, it's just weird. They don't really get code names, and so is she still the White Queen? Anyway, Wolverine says, can you cover us? We're going to take out the Queen. Emma's diamond form is impervious to harm, and nothing can pierce Armor's shields. Okay, so that other girl was Armor. And T'Challa says, and you? And Wolverine says, I'll find a way. And T'Challa says, Azari? And he says, on it, father. Keep them at range. Set up a killing field at 400 yards, cascading warheads and fire teams for any that get through. Okay, Manifold. That's who the other dude was. Wolverine says, Manifold, drop us right on top of Sinister, and he creates like a little gateway, and he says, done. And it shows, and it appears there, and Sinister looks up. And here comes Wolverine, and Sinister smiles. And bamf! He teleports and look at Wolverine. And look at that. He's like, oh crap. And Armor says, he's gone. And the White Queen says, and in a very recognizable way, he must have spliced other mutants' abilities into his DNA. He couldn't have teleported far. We should. And Wolverine says there as he hacks this one here. And bamf. And Wolverine says, I'm going after him. You can see the acid here. And he slices and kicks and jumps up. Very well done. He's a heck of an artist. So he goes and bamf again, and Wolverine is like, what is going on? They can't hurt us, but there's too many of them. I'm being overwhelmed, says Armor. And Wolverine says, just keep swinging. I'll get us clear if we need to. Suddenly, bamf. And is he inside? And she smells, and there he is. And Emma says, oh, no. And he kills her. Oh, my goodness. Armor is gone. And it falls, and he just smiles. What a jerk. And this is the acid that's been hitting Wolverine here. And so he looks around, and now they're all attacking Emma. And he makes some kind of command here. And T'Challa says, they failed. And we won't hold here for long. My son was right. We have to go, Carol. And Captain Marvel says, no, I shouldn't have run the first time, and I'm not running anymore. Do what you came here for, your people, and for whoever else makes it, and cover your eyes. And she goes up and starts using her powers, and T'Challa says, be careful. Look at that. Reminds me very much of when she was going by binary. And she says, careful? Careful is for those who plan on coming back. And look at this. Oh, my goodness gracious. And T'Challa and his people cover their eyes. And she is disintegrating the aliens here, melting them. And this guy here, is it Azari? Whatever. His son, maybe. Yes, if it worked. And here comes Sinister. And it looks like he survived. And he says, oh gods. And T'Challa says, there are too many of them left, and there's no stopping that thing. Have everyone fall back, Azari. We're leaving now, says the Black Panther. And here comes Sinister, and they're firing at him. And he says, retreat formation, Manifold. We're going to need a portal. And then we're going to be... And suddenly, my prince behind you. And you see the alien here. Hiss. And so we get here, and it says here, yesterday. Manifold signature in the distance. I think Carol got away. And here is Spider-Man here. Maybe we should probably follow her lead, Spider-Man. And this is Miles Morales, by the way. You're not going to hear me complaining, he says. And Tony says, I'm going to set my suit to purge the area. A widespread repulsor area at maximum power. It should clear the area and let us make our way to cover. Hopefully regroup and figure out what to do next. Stay close to me and stay clear of the blast. And Miles says, not a problem. And Iron Man says, all right, firing in 3, 2. And of course, he goes, Mr. Stark, look out. And he is hit by the tail of an alien. And he says, 1. And you see the fwash as Miles is going to try to make his way out. And you see this gigantic fireball here. And he goes to Tony. He goes, God, it's. And Tony opens his helmet and says, I've got an onboard diagnostics. You don't need to tell me. I know how bad it is, he says. And Tony continues, I'm not going to make it. Do you know what you need to do? And Miles asks, what do you mean? I wasn't talking to you. Do you know? And he's talking to the symbiote. Yes. So then do it. And so you see this sound here, and you can see the symbiote's doing something here. And so now, and check this out. Oh my goodness. We saw there was a ruckus going on. It looks like we were almost too late. Yes, so this is the Venom here. And look at that. Oh, that is so cool. No, you are too late. They are on us. And he continues here. It's a it's the big one that's the problem. Nothing we've done could stop it. It's carrying mutant genes and cutting right through us. And the Venom says the red one, and the Black Panther here says, "Yeah, let us try," he says. So here we go. And so the red one jumps up, and it looks like Venom catches Sinister. I'll just say Venom and Sinister here. So off we got us a fight. Oh my goodness! So it we see here that Sinister teleports here with Nightcrawler's power, comes behind and he cuts him right through. Oh, well, so much for Venom. And all of a sudden, he's covered in venom. I could tell that was going to happen. So he gets him through. And Venom wins. And the other ones kind of look like, oh. And, oh my gosh. And so they run. And Emma says, Alpha of the species. That's certainly one way to sort things out. And Miles says, so now what? And Black Panther is quiet. And so it tells us here 1 month later. And we still have Venom Alien here. And Black Panther says, all our dreams have ended. We are awake, and all we have left is a barren, broken universe where no thing can grow. This was their doing. And so we're looking at the architects, humans, and the xenomorphs. And T'Challa continues, gods who regretted what they had made, and thought they could erase us simply because they frowned on their creation. And somehow, worse than man's creation, whose hate was driven them mad, full with unholy purpose. And now we find ourselves here, hovering over a black hole, right where the whole thing started. And Wolverine says, it's a sad story, no doubt, but it doesn't really answer the question. And T'Challa says, perhaps the point is best left for others to make. And he puts it down. And so, I am Tony Stark, and these are my final words. As I record this, I am dying, but also have death growing inside of me. It's strange because I've been obsessed for so long with plans of survival that I never allowed myself to think about my end. And facing it now, if I'm being honest, there is some relief knowing that I denied death's embrace for this long. I spent my life building things, making things, creating. I suppose in a way that makes me the antithesis of what we face. Some vile thing that lives to infect, consume, and destroy everything we are and everything we have made. All that humankind seeks to leave behind, made ash in the mouth of an alien parasite. And so they continue looking on. I have died fighting that. And instead of surrendering to hopelessness and defeat, I hope that you will too. Seek it out, stand against it. In other times, in other universes. And so we get to the last page here. Avenge all of our fallen brothers and sisters. Avenge all of our fallen worlds. And if you don't mind it too much, avenge me. So here they go. So it looks like we're going to have most likely a continuation, a second part, probably drawn by somebody else, where they go against the engineers, is most likely. So all in all 4 parts are done. I have a playlist. Feel free to check that out. All 4 issues are now in there. I like it. It's beautifully drawn. I think it's a solid story. It's good. So, all in all, yeah, very cool. So, like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.